Now, I have to say, this has to be one of the most shocking Twitter debates I've seen in a while. It genuinely comes down to a woman was playing Valorant, and a guy that was playing it alongside her said that he was going to R word her. I'm not going to say the word because I like my video staying up, but you get the point. R wording, or the threat of R wording, is just something that can't be said in a public setting. It's just that simple. If you're playing with the bros and you say something along the lines of you're going to R word your friend, and it's another guy and he's alongside the joke, that is one thing. But saying you're going to R word a woman on the internet that you do not know, and knowing that they're not going to like that joke or they're not going along with the joke is just simply pathetic. Now, if you haven't seen this drama, I'm going to put it up on screen now. Be warned, for some reason, my Twitter was not in dark mode. So I am sorry for that. However, here is the video that led up to this whole drama.
But yuppa yuppa. You are literally just fucking all talk, bro.
Oh, be honest with me.
My ult's ready.
Do you know what rape feels like?
No, I don't actually.
Well, do you want to know?
Are you saying you're gonna rape me?
Because you're heading on the right path right now.
Are you saying you're gonna rape me?
You're going on the right path for it.
Is that what you're saying?
Toxins going up.
It's not rape if I like it. Is it now? Hectic. Oh.
Now, obviously, that clip is just weird. You don't say that on the internet, you just don't do it, especially nowadays. I see people saying, well, back in MW2, that was a different time and place. And most of the time, you're finding one woman like a month. It was highly unlikely you found women playing MW2 for that exact reason. It ultimately was a different time and place, and I think people have to just merely accept the fact that it's not the same time and place. Ultimately, this man was in the wrong. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, obviously, other people have different opinions on it, but I don't really agree with any of those opinions, nor do I think they are correct. Um, and it's just disgusting. I mean, you can't say it to women. I mean, it's just not something you can say. Even if you're saying, back in MW2, even back then it was still fucked up. People just looked at women like they were property. It was a different time. And not excusing that, obviously. It's still fucked up. But the simple fact is, there was less backlash for you saying that. Now, people look at women like they are equals, like we should. Like we very well should. There is no difference between a man and a woman. Women shouldn't be gate kept from video games, as some of these guys are suggesting. Actually, let me pull up a few of the comments again. Be warned, no dark mode for some reason. Now, here's the first one. I'm going to unmute for the sake of content. I mean, I get where he's coming from. You could always mute them, but it doesn't always work. I mean, sure, if you mute them, you avoid it, but then he's just going to say it to another person, and then to another person, and then to another person. If you don't report him and you don't put your foot down, it'll just keep going. Now you see me labeling a couple more comments. Yeah, I mean, these guys are taking the guy's side, which is insane. It's mental that we're supporting a guy saying he's going to R word a woman. Like this guy saying you got roasted. It's not a roast. Saying you're going to forcibly R word somebody is not it's not a roast. It's just you looking like a pathetic, immature man who can't experience things without being just, I mean, the most levels of pathetic. Obviously, I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this. Men on the internet are always the worst kind of men on the internet, but hey, it is what it is. I'm trying to bring my side. If you don't like it, then click off the video. It's really that simple. Now, obviously, you could see everyone's just roasting her. No reason. There is no reason. Really glad you posted this. We should really do something about rage quitting in games. I agree. Leaving the game didn't do anything. reporting and muting does do something. You have to report them if you're going to leave the game at the very least. It's just something you have to do, or otherwise he's just going to keep doing it. Now, I know the intention is to get Riot's attention with this tweet, but the simple fact is Riot's a game that's trying to make money. And the only way that Riot doesn't look bad here is if they did it privately after you reported them. Now, I don't agree that that should be the case. I believe that Riot should take action anyway. But men aren't going to stop this until gaming companies either put their foot down or just let them run rampant. If gaming companies let them run rampant, then the simple fact is most people are just going to start playing single player games and let these degenerates do whatever these degenerates do. And everybody that's not a degenerate will just stick to their single player story driven games. It's truly that simple. Choosing between turning off voice chat and well talking to your team should not be a debate in a first person shooter, especially a game like Valorant where communication is so important. It shouldn't be an option. Like you shouldn't have to mute your entire team because they're all telling you that they're gonna R word you. It's just truly pathetic. Now, obviously, there is some support in the comments, but as you can see, it is mostly just men saying gaming is for men, which is an idiotic statement to make because women make up a large percentage of where gaming companies make their money. It's not as big or will ever be as big as men that make them money, but women still make them a very good percentage of that dough. So no, women or gaming is not just for the men. Gaming is very much so also for women. It's been for women. And games like Valorant and Overwatch is so weird to see these guys playing games like that because as I like to call them, they're the most gay games in the world. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean they have the most women and most minority representation in gaming, which is a fantastic thing, but men like this playing those games doesn't make sense. If you're very homophobic and racist and sexist, why are you playing a game where there are gay characters and where there are black characters and where there are all of these things? It doesn't make sense. Um, I don't know. Ultimately, guys on the internet will never stop doing this. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Um, it's up to the gaming companies to do something about it. Uh, Women shouldn't have to experience it, but they will. Now, the last point I wanted to make, because I'm kind of repeating myself by this point, is playing a game like Apex Legends will become like a battle royale is going to become very popular for women that aren't already playing those games because Valorant, it's a team based shooter. Most of the time, you're not going to have a 5 stack to play Valorant. So you have to deal with the misogynists in your game. You have to deal with those teammates if you want to rank up. But playing a game like Apex Legends, you most likely can find 3 friends or even 2 friends, and you don't even have to communicate because the ping system is that good. You can literally not communicate with that random teammate if you do not want to. So again, I think these games are going to become more popular. I think smaller stacks teams are going to become more popular, and I think games with less multiplayer adaptation are going to become more popular for these guys. Um, but even if you stop playing multiplayer games, these kind of degenerate men are always going to try and find their way into your chat. They're going to do some disgusting things. I mean, we see it all the time with a streamer. We see it all the time with streamers in general, like Pokimane or I'm trying to think of another Apex streamer, Lulu, Lovely. You know, we see it all the time with these streamers. They're just women on the internet playing games, yet men can't control themselves long enough to, well, watch their stream without trying to bust a nut. It doesn't make sense. They're not doing anything. They're fully clothed playing video games or watching videos. But for some men, that just hits the right chord, I suppose. Um, I don't know. I mean, what's the fix to all of this? Punishing them is not doing it. Uh, If you're going to give them a 3 hour ban, you're not solving the problem. You're just putting a band aid on it. the only solution is either perma-banning them or, or just telling your community you're not going to do anything about it so they can stop playing your damn game. Now that's all for me. I'm sorry if the mic quality's dog shit. I'm getting a new mic, and I'm sorry if I'm a little stuffy or whatnot, or if you could hear me breathing, because I've been sick the past couple of days. Didn't plan on making a video, but this came across my Twitter feed or X feed, whatever the fuck, and I decided to cover it. Without further ado, I'm the fuck out of here, and if you enjoy, hit the like button. If you really enjoy, subscribe. It's that simple.